I always considered myself a creature of habit. My life was a carefully measured cadence of work, a modest apartment on the quieter side of town, and evenings filled with routine, cooking dinner at home, reading a book, or simply watching the familiar flicker of television news. There was comfort in predictability, a sense of safety in knowing exactly what each day would bring. Until one crisp autumn evening, when an unexpected series of credit card charges began to unravel the neat tapestry of my existence, revealing secrets I never knew I was part of. It began with a single notification on my phone. I had just finished my usual routine, a quick dinner of pasta and salad, followed by a quiet moment scrolling through social media on my couch, when the alert came. I glanced at my banking app out of habit, expecting to see the standard list of daily transactions. But there, among a host of mundane purchases, was a charge that made my heart skip a beat, a gourmet meal at Le Palais de Soirée, an upscale restaurant that I had never set foot in. The amount was extravagant, a price far beyond my usual spending, and the date and time stamped on the receipt suggested it had been processed just earlier that evening. I frowned, confused. I had not dined out tonight. I remembered my simple meal at home, my solitary evening punctuated by routine. And yet the digital receipt was irrefutable. It was printed in crisp detail, listing the location, the time, and even an itemized breakdown of charges that read like a menu of indulgence. My mind raced with questions. Was this a mistake? Had someone else used my card? Or was there something else at work, a secret I had somehow been unwittingly living? Over the next few hours, I checked my email and text messages repeatedly, searching for any clue to explain the anomaly. That very night, more charges began to appear, another, from L'Étoile Nocturne, a restaurant famed for its sumptuous tasting menus and sophisticated ambience, and yet another that indicated a late-night booking for a private, lavish meeting at the Midnight Lounge, a posh hotel bar known only to those in the inner circles of the city's elite. Each digital receipt was a small piece of a puzzle that, when put together, painted a picture of a life far more extravagant and mysterious than the one I had consciously led. The initial shock was quickly replaced by a heady mix of curiosity and trepidation. I began to wonder if I had, in a moment of unconscious desire, signed up for something that I had long since suppressed. My life had been defined by stability, but deep down, I had harbored secret fantasies of experiencing something daring, something that transcended the everyday. These unexplained charges felt like a covert summons to a world where luxury and clandestine romance reigned, a world that I had only dared to imagine in the quiet hours of the night. For a long while, I sat in my dimly lit living room, the soft glow of a single lamp casting gentle shadows on the walls as I replayed the events in my mind. I scrolled through my credit card history, my eyes growing wider with every additional charge. There were names and addresses I did not recognize, yet they seemed to be intricately linked. A charge for an exquisite dinner at Le Palais de Soirée at 7:45 p.m., followed by another for L'Étoile Nocturne at 9:30 p.m., and finally one from the Midnight Lounge at 11 p.m. Each transaction was precise, as if curated by an unseen hand that knew exactly when and where I would be available. My heart pounded as I considered the possibilities. Had I been living a double life, unaware of my own hidden cravings? Or was someone orchestrating these indulgences on my behalf, a secret admirer, perhaps, who had taken it upon themselves to lead me into a realm of sensual luxury and enigmatic encounters? The notion both terrified and thrilled me in equal measure. Unable to shake the intense pull of the mystery, I made a decision. I would follow the trail. I would embrace the unknown and discover the truth behind these digital receipts, no matter how deeply unsettling or exhilarating it might be. I began by checking the details of the first charge at Le Palais de Soirée. A quick online search revealed that the restaurant was renowned for its refined atmosphere, a place where every dish was an artistic expression of gourmet excellence. It catered to an exclusive clientele, and its reputation for discretion was legendary. I recalled passing by its elegant facade in the upscale part of the city, always wondering what secrets lay behind those polished glass doors. And now, apparently, I was destined to enter that world. With an apprehensive excitement, I prepared for what would undoubtedly be a night that would alter the course of my life. I took a long, hot shower, letting the steam and warmth wash away the lingering doubts and fears. Standing before the mirror, I carefully chose my attire, a sleek, dark red dress that clung elegantly to my curves, paired with a black leather jacket that added an edge of rebellious sophistication. I applied a modest amount of makeup, a bold, red lip and softly defined eyes that I hoped would hint at the quiet passion within me, and, for the first time in years, I looked at my reflection and saw a spark of someone daring to live fully. At around 7:30 p.m., I locked my apartment door and stepped out into the cool autumn night. I hailed a rideshare, my phone still buzzing with the echo of that mysterious receipt. As the sleek, black car pulled up, its headlights cutting through the gentle drizzle, I felt a mixture of nerves and anticipation churn inside me. I set the destination for Le Palais de Soirée, my heart racing as I settled into the back seat. The city, usually so familiar and comforting, now appeared as a mosaic of glistening lights and shadowed alleys, a backdrop for a secret adventure that I was only beginning to grasp. The ride was a quiet passage through the transformed urban landscape. I watched as the familiar streets gradually gave way to a more upscale district, the buildings here older and more ornate, their facades hinting at hidden histories and whispered stories. Every passing street lamp, every reflection in a puddle, seemed to beckon me toward a destiny that I had long kept at bay. My phone vibrated once more with another digital receipt, this one confirming a reservation at L'Étoile Nocturne for 9:30 p.m. My pulse quickened further. The evidence was irrefutable. I was, somehow, being led on a clandestine journey of luxury and intrigue. When the car finally pulled up in front of Le Palais de Soirée, I stepped out into a world that felt at once both familiar and utterly alien. The restaurant's entrance was understated yet unmistakably elegant, a set of glass doors framed by wrought iron detailing and softly glowing sconces. I hesitated for a moment at the threshold, a small part of me still questioning whether I was ready for what lay beyond. But the call of the unknown was too powerful, and I pushed open the door. Inside, the dining room was a study in refined opulence. Soft classical music played in the background, and the warm glow of candlelight bathed each table in an intimate radiance. I was led by a discreet, impeccably dressed hostess to a reserved table in a secluded corner. The table was set immaculately with crisp white linens, gleaming silverware, and a single red rose in a slender vase, a subtle but unmistakable symbol of passion and secrecy. I took my seat and tried to steady the rapid beat of my heart, feeling both exposed and exhilarated. The first course arrived, a delicate amuse-bouche of truffle-infused mushroom tartlet, its flavors an artful blend of earthiness and elegance. I savored each bite, allowing the exquisite taste to both nourish and embolden me, as if it were a whisper urging me to let go of the mundane. Between courses, I found myself casting furtive glances around the room, silently questioning the origin of this unexpected evening. Who was behind these secret luxury bookings? I recalled the original email alert, the precise digital receipt that had confirmed my entry into this hidden world. I wondered if it might be an anonymous admirer, someone who had watched from afar and decided that I deserved a taste of the extraordinary. The idea was both thrilling and unnerving, stirring memories of long-suppressed desires and half-remembered dreams. As the main course was served, a sumptuous dish of slow-cooked beef bourguignon, tender and infused with the rich flavors of red wine, herbs, and a touch of truffle oil, I engaged in polite conversation with a gentleman seated at the adjacent table. His voice was soft and measured, and he introduced himself as Marcus. We exchanged a few pleasantries about the evening's exceptional fare, and as our conversation deepened, I discovered that Marcus, too, had experienced moments of quiet rebellion against the ordinary. He spoke of secret escapes from his structured, predictable life, a yearning to embrace the unknown that had led him to discover hidden corners of the city, places where luxury and intimacy intertwined. His words resonated with me deeply, as if they were echoing the unspoken longing I had felt for years, tucked away beneath layers of caution. The course after course flowed like a carefully composed symphony, each dish a note of decadent delight, each pause between bites a moment to savor not just the flavors but the unfolding narrative of the night. As I relished the final dessert, a delicate, caramelized crème brûlée with hints of vanilla and a whisper of sea salt, I felt as though I were being gently nudged toward the next phase of this extraordinary escape. At that moment, my phone buzzed again, displaying a new message: proceed to the Midnight Lounge for a lavish after-dinner meeting. Your secret awaits. My heart pounded as I realized that the night was far from over. Instead, it was a continuous thread of opulent experiences woven together by an unseen hand. I excused myself from the table with a quiet smile, leaving behind the soft murmur of contented diners, and stepped out into the cool night air. I hailed another rideshare, my fingers trembling as I set the destination to the Midnight Lounge, a posh hotel bar known for its exclusive, after-dark meetings and discreet gatherings of those who dared to live passionately. The car's interior was a cocoon of gentle music and reflective silence as I made my way through rain-kissed streets, the urban landscape transformed by the glow of streetlights and the soft hum of midnight traffic. When I arrived at the Midnight Lounge, I was immediately enveloped by an atmosphere of refined mystery. The entrance was subtle, a single door tucked away in a corner of the hotel's elegant lobby. Inside, the bar was bathed in soft, ambient lighting that played over dark, polished wooden plush seating. There was an aura of exclusivity, a sense that only those in the know could truly appreciate the space. I took a seat at the far end of the bar, my eyes scanning the room for any sign of the secret admirer who had orchestrated this elaborate night. I ordered a cocktail, a signature mix that blended bitter citrus with a hint of spice and a mysterious, lingering sweetness, and as I sipped it slowly, I let the flavors ignite the embers of my imagination. Minutes later, a man emerged from the soft shadows. He was impeccably dressed, his features both familiar and enigmatic, and his eyes carried a warmth that immediately put me at ease. "Good evening," he said softly, his voice a calm, measured murmur that contrasted with the vibrant energy of the night. "I'm Julian." There was something in his tone, a quiet assurance, a gentle invitation, that resonated with the spark of rebellion within me. We exchanged a tentative smile, and as he took a seat beside me, I felt as if a part of me, long hidden behind routine, was finally beginning to stir. Over the next hour, Julian and I spoke in hushed tones. Our conversation meandered from casual observations about the elegance of the bar to more intimate revelations of our inner lives. He told me about the life he had once led, a life confined by expectation and predictability, and how a series of secret escapes had awakened him to a world of passion and possibility. I shared my own journey, the quiet resignation of my previous days and the sudden, electrifying awakening that had been sparked by that mysterious email. With every word, I felt the walls I had built around my heart soften, replaced by a gentle openness and a willingness to embrace vulnerability. The ambience of the midnight lounge grew even more intimate as the night advanced. The soft strains of a live saxophone mingled with the subdued clink of glasses and the low, murmuring conversations of other patrons. In that space, under the muted glow of elegant chandeliers, I found a deep sense of connection, not only with Julian, but with every soul present who had, like me, chosen to step away from the ordinary in search of something more profound. Each shared glance, each discreet smile, was a silent affirmation that the secret escapes were not mere anomalies, but essential chapters in a life reimagined. When the clock neared 1 a.m., Julian and I exchanged a quiet farewell. "Tonight has been unforgettable," he murmured as he gently squeezed my hand. "I hope we meet again, in this mysterious dance of life." His words, soft and resonant, left an indelible imprint on my heart. I watched him fade back into the soft shadows of the bar, his presence lingering like a whispered promise. I stayed a while longer, absorbing the last vestiges of that intimate atmosphere, before hailing a rideshare to return to my suite at the Regency Oasis. The ride back was a quiet, reflective journey through rain-glazed streets, each moment a reminder of the extraordinary experiences that had unfolded over the past several hours. When I finally arrived back at the hotel, I made my way to my suite with a mind still alight with possibility. Inside, in the quiet sanctuary of my room, I sat by the expansive window overlooking the city's glittering skyline and opened my journal. I wrote feverishly, capturing every detail of the night, from the elegance of the gourmet dinners and the refined ambience of La Nuit, to the tender connection with Julian at the midnight lounge. Every word was a testament to the transformation I had undergone, a transformation sparked by the revelation of secret luxury bookings and forbidden after-dark meetings, and nurtured by the courage to embrace the unknown. In the days that followed, I felt that the echoes of that extraordinary night continued to resonate in every corner of my life. The once mundane routine of my existence had been replaced by a vibrant awareness of hidden beauty, the quiet thrill of a well-placed notification, the secret promise of an unexpected invitation, and the knowledge that the extraordinary could be found in the most covert of moments. I began to notice the soft nuances of everyday life, a friendly smile, a whispered word of encouragement, the gentle play of sunlight on rain-dappled pavement, and each became a subtle reminder that life's richest experiences often lay just beyond the familiar. I have come to understand that the digital receipt, the cryptic messages, and the secret bookings were not coincidences. They were invitations, delicate, transformative invitations that beckoned me to reclaim the passion and vibrancy that had long lain dormant within me. That night, when a mysterious email revealed my escape to a chic resort and an intimate dinner with an unknown admirer, I stepped beyond the safe confines of routine and discovered a hidden world of luxury, romance, and self-rediscovery. Now, as I sit in the quiet afterglow of those transformative moments, I know that my journey is far from over. Each secret message, every discreet invitation, is a stepping stone toward a future brimming with passion and authenticity. I am determined to remain open to the whispers of the unknown, to chase after the hidden treasures that life so generously offers, and to live each day with the fierce, unbridled courage of someone who has tasted the extraordinary. I close my journal tonight with a quiet resolve, a promise that I will continue to embrace the beauty of secret escapes, the thrill of forbidden meetings, and the deep, resonant joy that comes from living boldly. The digital receipts that once shocked me have become the keys to a world of wonder, and I now step forward into a life where every discreet charge, every hidden booking, is a reminder that the extraordinary is always just a secret away. I woke in the dim light of early morning with a head full of vivid memories and an aching yet exhilarating sense of transformation. The events of last night still played across my mind like an elaborate film, a film I hadn't even known I was starring in until that one hidden phone message had shattered my everyday monotony. I lay still in the quiet darkness of my suite, the afterglow of luxury and whispered promises mingling with the soft hum of the city waking below my window. Every detail was etched in my mind, the discreet notification confirming a secret booking, the hushed elegance of the high-end restaurant, and the intimate dinner that had led me to a mysterious lover whose presence felt both comforting and wildly unexpected. For a long time, I had measured my life in predictable beats, commuting to work, returning to a small apartment, and spending evenings lost in routine. But that one message, with its cryptic tone and alluring promise, had ignited a spark deep within me. It was as if someone had reached through the digital ether to remind me that the world was vast and full of hidden wonders. Now, as I sat up in bed, I could still feel the pulse of that energy, like the echo of a secret melody that continued to play even after the music had stopped. I dressed slowly, each movement deliberate as if I were preparing for an important performance. Today, I chose a soft cream blouse paired with tailored navy trousers, a subtle nod to the elegance of the night before while still remaining grounded in reality. I glanced at my reflection in the mirror, noticing how different I looked. My eyes held a glimmer of quiet defiance, and a small, knowing smile tugged at the corners of my lips. The hidden phone message had done more than simply alter my evening. It had reshaped my inner landscape, peeling away the layers of self-imposed restraint to reveal a person ready to embrace passion and possibility. After a light breakfast in the hotel's modern cafe, an oasis of quiet sophistication where soft instrumental music underscored the murmurs of other early risers, I found a quiet corner by a large window and began to write in my journal. I poured out every detail of the previous night, the thrill as I first read the message, the nervous excitement that had propelled me to follow it, and the sumptuous dinner at La Belle Époque where each course had been more than just a meal, but a carefully orchestrated journey of flavor and emotion. I recounted the moments when my eyes met those of my mysterious lover, Julian, a man whose tender gaze and gentle voice had stirred emotions I'd long thought dormant. I wrote about the intoxicating blend of candlelight, soft music, and whispered conversations that had made the experience feel like stepping into another dimension, one where time and fear no longer held sway. As I closed my journal, I realized that while the echoes of last night still warmed my heart, there was a restlessness within me that would not allow the magic to fade into a distant memory. I checked my phone again, half expecting another message to appear. Moments later, it buzzed with a new encrypted text. The subject was simple: "Your journey continues." The message was as concise as it was powerful, reading: "Tonight at 8 p.m., join us at the Aurora Pavilion. Let your passion guide you. Another chapter awaits." The word sent a thrill through me. The Aurora Pavilion, an exclusive, almost mythic venue whispered about among those who chased life's hidden luxuries, was said to be a place where art, conversation, and clandestine encounters fused into a celebration of the extraordinary. There was no signature, no further explanation, only the promise that the night would continue to reveal secrets and ignite my desire to live fully. With a deep breath, I accepted the invitation. I spent the rest of the day in a state of reflective anticipation. I strolled through the nearby streets during a rare moment of leisure, letting the crisp autumn air and the gentle rustling of leaves remind me that every moment held the potential for transformation. I began to see beauty in the ordinary, the glint of sunlight on a window pane, the soft murmur of a passing conversation, even the way a stranger smiled as we briefly made eye contact. It was as if the world had been waiting for me to awaken to its hidden magic. That afternoon, I took the opportunity to explore the city's cultural side, visiting a small art gallery tucked away in a narrow alley. The gallery was a treasure trove of vivid paintings and sculptures that spoke of unspoken dreams and bold, unapologetic emotions. I found myself lingering in front of a large canvas, a burst of abstract color and passion that reminded me of the fire I had rediscovered the night before. As I left the gallery, I realized that every brushstroke and every carefully chosen hue was a reminder that life was meant to be vibrant, not confined to the muted shades of routine. When evening approached, I returned to the hotel, feeling both nervous and exhilarated as I prepared for my next clandestine adventure. I chose a different outfit this time, a flowing, midnight blue gown with delicate silver accents that shimmered under soft light, paired with elegant high-heeled sandals. The dress felt like an affirmation of the new me, a woman who had shed the weight of predictability and was ready to embrace every secret invitation that came her way. I styled my hair in loose waves and applied a touch of shimmering makeup, looking into the mirror with a sense of anticipation that bordered on reverence. At 7:30 p.m., I stepped out of my suite and hailed a rideshare to take me to the Aurora Pavilion. The car ride felt almost dreamlike, the city's skyline a blur of lights and shifting shadows that seemed to whisper promises of hidden realms. I watched as familiar streets gave way to a more upscale district where elegant buildings rose like monuments to undiscovered splendor. My heart pounded with each passing moment until the ride finally brought me to my destination, a modern, glass-encased building with an understated sign that simply read Aurora Pavilion in sleek, minimalist letters. I stepped out into the cool evening air and made my way inside. The lobby of the pavilion was a study in contemporary elegance. A fusion of natural elements and modern design, the space was filled with soft ambient lighting, lush indoor plants, and carefully curated artwork that evoked both tranquility and the thrill of possibility. I checked in with a friendly attendant who directed me to a private lounge on the top floor, where the real magic was set to unfold. As I rode the elevator, I felt a sense of weightlessness, as though I were ascending not just in height, but toward a higher state of being. When the elevator doors opened, I stepped onto a spacious terrace that overlooked the sprawling city below. The Aurora Pavilion's private lounge was a hidden sanctuary, a circular space with plush seating arranged around low tables, subtle lighting that bathed everything in a soft, ethereal glow, and panoramic windows that framed a breathtaking view of the starlit sky. I felt as if I had stepped into a dream, a secret world reserved for those daring enough to embrace life's unpredictable splendor. I chose a seat near the edge, where I could see the entire cityscape, a glittering mosaic of lights that twinkled in harmony with the distant hum of nocturnal activity. As I settled in, I noticed that the atmosphere was one of quiet anticipation. The guests around me, each one elegantly attired and imbued with a sense of mystery, exchanged soft smiles and gentle nods, as if they too were here to celebrate the beauty of hidden encounters. I felt a sense of kinship with them, a collective understanding that we were all, in some way, rebels against the ordinary. Soon enough, a soft chime sounded over the lounge's discreet sound system, and a live performance began. A pianist took center stage, his fingers dancing across the keys with a delicate, emotional fervor that resonated with every heart in the room. The music was tender and reflective, a haunting melody that seemed to capture the very essence of vulnerability and hope. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the sound wash over me, each note a gentle reminder that life's true beauty often lies in the quiet spaces between chaos and calm. After the performance, a woman with an air of quiet confidence approached my table. "Good evening," she said, her voice soft and melodious. "I'm Claire. It seems our paths have been intertwined by fate. May I join you?" There was something in her gaze, a spark of understanding and shared defiance, that made me nod in silent agreement. As Claire sat down, we began to talk in hushed tones about the mysteries of life, the allure of secret escapes, and the transformative power of embracing the unknown. She spoke of her own journey, a tale of breaking free from the constraints of a safe, monotonous existence to explore the vibrant, often hidden, facets of her soul. Her words, sincere and evocative, stirred something deep within me, reinforcing the belief that every secret invitation was a call to live more fully. Throughout the evening, my conversation with Claire flowed seamlessly, punctuated by moments of laughter and reflective silence. We exchanged stories of missed opportunities and daring escapes, of times when the ordinary had suddenly given way to something magical, a serendipitous encounter, a spontaneous decision, or a hidden rendezvous that promised a glimpse of a more vibrant life. In every word, I sensed a shared yearning for authenticity and passion, a desire to peel away the layers of self-imposed caution and reveal the raw, unfiltered essence of who we truly were. As the night deepened and the soft glow of the lounge shifted into a more intimate ambience, I felt the powerful magnetism of this hidden world seeping into every fiber of my being. I realized that these clandestine experiences, those secret luxury bookings, the gourmet dinners, and the whispered encounters with mysterious strangers, were not just isolated moments of indulgence, but transformative experiences that were reshaping my identity. They had opened my eyes to the possibility of a life lived on my own terms, a life where passion, spontaneity, and vulnerability were celebrated rather than suppressed. Eventually, as the final strains of the live music faded into the gentle murmur of departing guests, I knew it was time to leave the Aurora Pavilion. I exchanged heartfelt goodbyes with Claire and a few others, each farewell laden with the promise that this was only the beginning of something far greater than a single night's adventure. I gathered my things and, with a lingering glance at the panoramic view of the sleeping city below, stepped out into the cool embrace of the night. The ride back to the Regency Oasis was a quiet, reflective journey through rain-soaked streets and softly lit boulevards. I sat in the back seat, my thoughts swirling like the droplets on the window, replaying every emotion, every whispered word, every subtle glance from the evening. I felt a deep gratitude for the transformative power of these secret escapes, a gratitude that was tempered by the realization that my life had irrevocably changed. The mundane had given way to the extraordinary, and I was now a wanderer in a realm of hidden possibilities. Once back in my suite, I slipped off my shoes and sank into the plush comfort of my favorite armchair by the expansive window. I pulled out my journal once again and began to write, my pen capturing the essence of my journey in a torrent of emotion. I wrote about the thrill of that puzzling email, the sumptuous meals that had teased my senses, the intimate conversations that had peeled back the layers of my self-imposed solitude, and the realization that every secret luxury booking was a stepping stone on the path to rediscovering my true self. In the quiet solitude of that early morning, as the first rays of light bathed the city in gentle hues of gold and lavender, I felt a profound sense of renewal. I knew that the secret encounters, the clandestine dinners, and the unexpected invitations were not mere escapes. They were affirmations that life's true beauty lay in the courage to step into the unknown. I vowed then, with a steady, determined heart, that I would continue to embrace every secret invitation, every mysterious message that crossed my path. I would no longer hide behind the safe veneer of routine, but instead, I would allow myself to be transformed by the magic of those hidden moments. As I closed my journal and prepared to face the new day, I realized that the journey I had embarked upon was only just beginning. The mysterious lover, the secret luxury bookings, and the intimate dinners had all been part of a larger narrative, a narrative of self-discovery, of breaking free from the chains of predictability, and of embracing the boundless, unpredictable beauty of life. With each passing day, I would remain vigilant for the next sign, the next secret message that beckoned me to live boldly and passionately. Now, as I sit by the window watching the city slowly awaken, I feel a quiet certainty that the extraordinary is always within reach, if only we dare to follow the clues that life leaves for us in unexpected places. Every digital receipt, every cryptic text, every covert rendezvous is a reminder that our true selves lie hidden beneath the surface of everyday existence, waiting for the moment when we choose to live with abandon, authenticity, and an unyielding passion for the unknown. I smile softly, feeling the lingering warmth of last night's embrace and the promise of countless adventures yet to come. The secret luxury bookings and the forbidden, decadent dinners have not only awakened my senses, they have transformed my very being, leaving me ready to welcome the future with open arms and a heart that beats in rhythm with the whispers of the extraordinary.